Good afternoon and morning for several of us here today. So this is the WRASAP Network quarterly meeting, and today we'll be hearing from our collaborators in Guam. And before we go into their presentation, we'll do a quick introduction of what WRASAP is and the strategies that we're using to reduce farm stress around the West. And so quickly, my name is Esmeralda, and I am at the California Agribility at UC Davis, and we're one of the partners with WRASAP. WRASAP is funded by the USDA, the United States Department of Agriculture, and we're funded under the Farm and Ranch Stress Assistance programs, which there's four across the United States. And these were built to establish regional networks that connect agricultural producers, farmers, ranchers, and farm workers in other agricultural occupations with resources to assist them in times of stress. Like I said, there's four U.S. regional programs, and we're the one in the West. Our specific program in the West includes programs of clearinghouses, so resources into a database on our webpage, a small grants program, which I'll talk a little bit at the end of this presentation, and increasing operation hours for some call staff lines that were already available. And another effort is just creating a network, creating spaces where we can continue to connect and learn from each other about what's going on in our different areas in the West, especially because the West is so very varied in so many ways. So what are those local projects doing to address farm stress? How can we learn from one another and implement and also collaborate? So the mission, we do cover the 13 states and 4 territories, and this is a very large area in the West, and also a lot of different variations of agriculture we see from our partners. So our efforts in WRASAP again include the Clearinghouse, the Small Grants Program, and the Call Staff Network. And because the West is so large, we have partners across all the West. Some of them are in Montana State University, Colorado, specifically with the Colorado Agribility, here in California with the California Agribility, the University of Nevada in Reno, Cooperative Extension, and several universities like the University of Guam, the University of Hawaii, the University of Idaho, and one of our other partners is Farm Aid. So with Farm Aid, what we've done, we've increased their operation hours. There's some new partners too, including the National Agribility Program and the AgriSafe Network. So the WRASAP network meetings are this space where we utilize for stakeholders to be able to build connections and collaboration to assist agricultural producers in times of stress. And one of our goals is to improve behavioral health, wellness, literacy, and outcomes for agricultural producers, their families, and communities. And collaborators present their efforts and offer opportunities to pose questions and bring experiences to the table. Like I said, we learn from each other, and also that helps us reflect upon our own work. And the meeting is open to the public and to external partners. So we're going to start off by going out into breakout rooms. We consider this to be a very important activity for us to get to know each other. And what we're going to do is engage in these conversations to connect. So we'll put you in small groups of 3 people and you want to do an introduction of your agency or your role. If you're a community member, you can say what community you're from and what leadership roles you've taken there. And the question that we want to share in those breakout groups is, up to today, what has been your most rewarding experience of your career? Focus on career, but if that's not the best question, you can also do something personal. So yeah, up to today, what has been your most rewarding experience of your career? And I'm going to have Angelina break us out into groups. Thank you, Helena, for getting us all into groups. How was it? Does anybody want to share what had been the most rewarding experience of their career? It's a big question, I know. I got too deep this time. I can start off. I was thinking about it, and I think the most rewarding, well, one of the most rewarding has been on this one agribility case. So we were looking for an adapted tractor for a farmer with a right leg amputation. Just to make it easier for get him to get on and off safely onto the tractor. And we had tried so many different programs to try and get him to either adapt the tractor. We couldn't adapt it because it was such an old tractor. The kits that were available didn't fit to it. And then we tried this several different things, right? We even went to some uh, court cases where we were trying to appeal because one of his cases was closed, it wasn't approved because the organization that was going to fund it didn't deem it safe. But we were just like, well, if we don't adapt the tractor, it's going to be less safe. He's going to continue to work because that's what farmers do, right? Disability or no disability, they continue to operate. And this was like a year and a half, 2 year journey, and I didn't know where else to look for help. And then industry came in and just gave him the new tractor. And I think that that was very rewarding because when I thought, oh, there's no more options, I don't know what else to do. Like the option that we needed just came up. So I think that that helped me realize that you don't give up. You just keep looking. Next opportunity. So that's been something that's been very rewarding. I continue to pull from it to find other avenues to find solutions for our farmers and our farm workers. All right, anybody else want to share? See if anybody's coming off mute. If not, we can move on. I know these are deep thoughts. Cool. All right. So let's move on. We'll do slides. All right. So our presenters for today are all from University of Guam. I have a couple of pictures here, but Kuan has informed me that there's going to be a few more presenters, so they'll present themselves as they come on. Um, so just quickly, we've in the WRASAP network, we've been working with Dr. Kwan for a number of years, and it's been a really great experience. He's doing some great work at the University of Guam, and Dr. Chen is currently an associate professor of agricultural economics and co-director of the Farmer Focus program at the Cooperative Extension Service at the University of Guam. He has more than 15 years of experience in economic analysis and statistical modeling with extensive academic and practical experience in policy-driven economic analysis. His recent work focuses on consumer demand analysis, the economics of policy change survey implementation in ethnically diverse regions, and innovative agribusiness and sustainable agriculture in minor outlying islands. Dr. Tim Dela Cruz is an extension agent in family consumer sciences and assistant professor in agriculture and life sciences at the University of Guam Cooperative Extension Service. He holds an MA in Micronesian studies and a PhD in human services. With 20 years of experience in nonprofit social services, education, and extension, his work focuses on healthy aging, family resilience, farmer stress, behavioral health, and youth development. So with that, I will turn it over to our presenters for today.
Thank you so much, Esmail, for for the introduction. And I would like to share my screen first. Can anyone see our slides? Okay, perfect. So yeah, again, my name is Kuan-Ju Chen from University of Guam. So during today's presentation will be my colleagues, Team Dela Cruz from University of Guam, and also our the important supporter from Guam Behavior Wellness Center, Dr. Christiana Wickman. Also, to our project assistants, Tina Lin and Grace Ann Dela Cruz. So today we would like to share the fostering the resiliency in Micronesia's farming communities. So give a little bit the motivation for this project. So during the COVID, our islands were shut down. So if everyone knew the Guam is far away from the States, so is we rely on around 90% imports from the States. So it make more challenging and difficulty for our farming community to continue doing the farming. So that's why when Don from Washington State reached out to us, I'm really grateful to have those resources and to do a capacity building for our farming community. So through the WRASAP, we able to work with the RASA team. So with the Edison and Michelle from Montana State University. So we're able to conduct some surveys, understand what particular important stress factors for our farmers and also farm workers. And also through ESMO, we're able to outreach with different states, universities, and the partners to leverage the resources and to implement and localize our resources to our local communities. So without RASA support, we cannot be done and reach out to our farming community and understand the farm stress factors. So really appreciate this opportunity to to have a chance to get into the farm stress the area. So we also want to build our capacity from Guam first as a hub and reach out to all the Micronesia regions. So all our partners, including the COM, College of Micronesia, and FSM, and also Palau Community College, and also Northern Mariana College. So this presentation, we actually will touch briefly about how we reach out to our community and what other activity we have been done in the past. So first,
And
we
Juan,
start. Oh, yes.
sorry to interrupt you. Could you put your slides in full mode? We're seeing your slide deck and then the tabs. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, sure. Thank you. So, first, our objective for UOG, the farmer focus program, the reason we want to use the farmer focus, the first hand, we don't want to call it the farm stress because we feel the stress is kind of sensitive of the words to our farming community. So we want to call a little bit different name to reduce those the anxiety and the stress words to reach out to farming community. So we had three objectives. So we want to increase awareness about stress and mental health in local and regional agricultural communities. We also want to develop a settable and region specific resources toward to target groups. And the last but not the least, we want to improve overall well-being of agriculture workers within the region. So our purpose is to serve, educate, enlighten our local farming community in the region. So again, this work cannot be done by myself. So we have great team. Uh, beside me and Team Dela Cruz, we also have the Rita Sharma, who served as assistant professor of psychology at University of Guam. So she has been working with us to reach out to our local farming community based on her expertise. And we also have the big important the supporter from the government agency. So Dr. Christiana Wigman, who is currently the project director at Guam Behavior Awareness Center, so she has been our huge supporters for this program. And we also have our other team assistants, Tina Lin, research associate, and Grace Ann, extension assistant, and Karen Asiaga, research assistant as well. So I would like to play our show our video to you guys about overall this project.
It felt good to know that there are people out there who understands what we go through.
Farming is more than work. It's a way of life. And behind every harvest are stories of resilience, long hours, and real stress. Here in the Micronesia, we constantly work together to change that. This is our journey. In 2022, we hosted Guam's first farmer-focused conference, tackling mental health and farm stress topics that are often left unspoken. We trained our extension team in adult mental health first aid, preparing them to support our farmers in moments that matter the most. Bringing communities together through our Wellness Talks workshop, connecting farmers with health professionals, and support networks across the island. In 2023, we took that foundation and built on it. We brought wellness to the table with our barbecue boot camp and farmer wellness seminar, blending good food with good conversations about health and nutrition. Our annual Farmer Focus Conference was held in Pohnpei, and we expanded our partnership with the College of Micronesia and with the Western Regional Agricultural Stress Assistance Program, bridging islands and bringing resources where they're needed most. Our team then trained agriculture workers in mental health first aid, empowering them with the skills and knowledge to care for themselves and their communities. Inspired by our community, we came together to embrace wellness through mindful nutrition and stress management. In 2024 marked our biggest impact. In March, our team embraced opportunities to both share and grow, gaining valuable insights to strengthen our efforts in agriculture. In June, YAG proudly hosted our Regional Farmer Focus Conference, uniting farmers, leaders, and partners through education, engaging hands-on activities, and honest conversation addressing farmer stress and well-being across the Micronesia. In August, we welcomed international students from Taiwan to Guam for a cross-cultural exchange of agricultural and health knowledge. And thanks to our collaboration with National Taipei University of Nursing and Health Sciences, we provided free community health checkups specifically tailored for farmers, from biometric screenings, strength testing, to mental health assessments. In October 2024, over 200 stakeholders from across the Pacific gathered for our largest event to date, Thriving Together. This two-day summit brought together farmers, researchers, policymakers, and regional partners to exchange ideas, build capacity, and reaffirm a shared vision: the development of sustainable farming communities across the islands. Thriving Together served not only as a platform for knowledge sharing, but also as a turning point, deepening partnerships, inspiring innovation, and strengthening our regional network for agricultural development and food sovereignty. As momentum continued, we then held the next regional conference meeting in 2025, hosted in Palau. This convening expanded our efforts, welcomed new partners, and reinforced our collective commitment to advancing climate-smart, culturally grounded, and community-led agriculture. Dedication fuels this movement with greater reach, deeper collaboration, and stronger roots. Because across our islands, when we invest in farmers, we invest in our future.
Thank you. So the next I will give this space to the stage to Tina and Grace for the introduction about our program. I mean the geographic location and culture.
I'll be presenting the next section because I believe Tina's not feeling too well. So I told her I'd go ahead and just do this part for the context of Guam. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you. If we can
Okay.
just have you guys go on the full presentation mode for the slides. Thank you.
Okay. So Micronesia is a region in the Western Pacific made up of thousands of small islands, atolls, and reefs, and Guam is only but one of them. Although these islands are spread across millions of square kilometers of ocean, their total land area is very small, which makes every resource precious. The people here have rich cultures with deep connections to both the land and the sea. And of course, farming crops like taro and breadfruit, as well as fishing, remain a part of daily life. Other traditional skills, such as canoe building, are no longer practiced as regularly, but they are still preserved and shared through cultural events and education. And these practices reflect values of cooperation, respect for nature, and a strong sense of community. At the same time, these islands face challenges such as limited land, rising sea levels, and other impacts caused by climate change. In response, communities are reviving traditional methods and adopting sustainable practices such as composting and agroforestry to ensure they can thrive in the future. Among these islands, one plays a special role in connecting and supporting the region, and that is Guam. Though it's not on the slide, I would like to mention that this is one of the first initiatives of this kind in the region. So we really do take pride in connecting our neighboring islands in this way. And can I just have the next slide, please? So Guam is a U.S. territory, or more so a unincorporated U.S. territory in the Western Pacific and part of Micronesia alongside islands like Palau and the Federated States of Micronesia, which were mentioned earlier for our regional conferences. In terms of size, it's about 32 miles long and 8 miles wide with a population of around 170,000 people. Its history, again, blends a history of colonialism or colonization from Spanish, Japanese, and American influences. The indigenous people are the Chamorros, and it really does make Guam a cultural melting pot. So this is just explaining a bit more beyond its geographical significance. Only a small portion of its land, as told by this size, is used for farming, and that's about 2%. So considering it's already a small island, you can imagine that it's not that vast of a farming industry compared to other countries. And despite that, though, or despite its small size, Guam serves as a gateway that links Micronesia to Asia and the United States. Through institutions like the University of Guam, it also provides education, research, and training that directly benefits farmers and communities throughout the region. By understanding this background, we can better appreciate why the Farmer Focus Program is so important for building sustainable practices and strengthening our island's future. Next slide, please. So now I'm just going to go into a bit of our research background, I didn't go through all of the different questions that we asked. So if you do want to learn more about that, if you have any questions, we can connect afterwards. This is just like a brief snapshot of everything, just to better understand why we chose certain things, like in terms of our outreach efforts or the topics we have for our workshops. So as Dr. Chen mentioned, we did have two surveys. One was the agricultural producer survey in 2021, 2022, and the agricultural worker survey, which was more so 2022, 2023, which is still towards the beginning of our project. For the producer survey, we had 83 responses, and then for worker survey, we had 34. And this is just for the island of Guam. We do have data for our neighboring islands, but for now, this is just Guam focused. Again, if you have any questions about that, we can discuss further outside of this meeting. But I did include just the main data points, such as the stress score. We use the perceived stress scale for these surveys, specifically the PSSS-10. And one of the most notable takeaways from that is that majority of the responses that we received were falling under medium stress. And though it's not a high proportion for high stress levels, it still indicates a need in terms of addressing these stressors before they escalate to a much higher level. And I've also included some of the most cited stressors here, and I'll just go over the top 3 for each. So for producers, it's production costs, pest, and increased labor costs. And then for workers, it's crop/plant disease, lack of time, and financial worries. So though they are different, they do share a few stressors here and there. And we did survey a lot of different stressors, but these are just the top for each survey. Next slide, please. On this slide, I have a demographic summary for each. We didn't collect the same amount of detail because it is a different set of agricultural workers. But this is just a bit of information. Some commonalities that we did see, though, is that primarily the ethnicity is Chamorro. Average years does vary a tiny bit, but most of them have been in the industry for a long time. And the ages don't fall that far from each other. Average age for producers is 57 years old at the time. And then for workers, it was 35 to 44 years old. So they are a lot more on the older side, and that's why the issue of sustaining the practice comes into question and finding ways to keep these farms open. And that goes into some of the cited topics of interest. As you can see, succession planning is somewhere on there, but these are the top 3 for each survey. So we have problem solving, financial assistance, and succession planning for producers, and financial assistance, retirement planning, and nutrition cooking for workers. Again, we have more interest, and these are usually what we reference when we start planning our outreach to see what is not only more relevant, but what the farmers want to learn about when we plan those out. But yeah, that's pretty much the research snapshot. And because I was talking about outreach, I'd now like to pass it on to Dr. Dela Cruz to talk more about our outreach efforts, since he plans a lot of that on his end.
All right, half a day. First of all, I wanted to apologize that my video is turned off. So we're having a tropical depression pass through our island now, so it's been affecting my home internet. So thank you, Grace. Thank you for having me this afternoon. So the data that Grace had shared really has been the driving force in terms of how we've responded to the unique needs of our farming community, and has really translated into some of the extension and community partnerships that we've established over the years. And so when you look at the outreach efforts that we have taken, specifically, my area is with the Consumer Family Sciences unit at Extension. And so there are 2 areas that we've sort of organized our outreach efforts, and it is primarily with the farm community and their families, and youth and children using farm activities or planting activities as a way of addressing behavioral health, mental health issues. So some of the activities that we have done for our community, for our adults, have been succession planning. That was one of the topics that were identified as a need and as a stress indicator for our farm community. And that was done earlier this year and it will continue to be a series that we will offer. It is offered in partnership with the human resource professional with one of the major grocery store chains here on island. And it really just emphasizes the need for our farmers to be thinking about, what becomes of the farm when they leave it. And so we had a workshop series that we've done to address that. We've done a series of mental health is not really a topic that people feel comfortable talking about. So one of the ways that we've addressed that is really finding creative solutions of providing these sorts of resources and services. And so we've partnered with our animal scientist and offered barbecue boot camps, which essentially is a social mixer, which incorporates behavioral health activities in our meeting spaces. And so that also involved a partnership with our psychology program at the University of Guam that's led by interns as well as the faculty there. And so the whole idea of that was really to bring farmers together and center it around discussions around behavioral health that range from stress reduction to self-care. We've also partnered with the university in Taiwan by offering health assessments, and they're not just limited to farmers. They're open to the broader community, and that's the aim of doing that really is to make some of the things that we're doing more approachable and sort of destigmatizing mental health by opening it up to a broader community. As was mentioned and shown in the videos, our outreach efforts have also translated into annual conferences that we've hosted throughout the region, and a signature part of that is providing access to mental health tools that are primarily our providers or extension professionals who work with farmers may not have readily have access to, and so that is provided to our partners free of charge. We've also have a social marketing campaign that we've done, which is through our university Instagram and Facebook page. And it focuses on the stress indicators that have been mentioned in the study. And it offers it as infographics. And it's really just an tool to kind of connect and serve as an access point for our farmers or our farm communities. We also have a resource corner at our farmers co-op where I'm not sure if it's on the next slide, but we've developed the infographics that address some of the tips that farmers, if they don't have the time to sit through workshops, many of them are very busy working on the farm, so we offer them tips, and these rotate out on twice every 2 months. We rotate them out with tips. It's also paired with our nutrition program at the University of Guam. And so the resource center features fact sheets from extension from Guam and throughout the nation. And these are the drop-in centers we have 2 centers that have these materials available for our farmers. And so if we just take a step back to the previous slide, with our collaborators that really
I think maybe he might be having some trouble with his internet.
Okay, sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about what we do with the youth. And so the youth are not necessarily from farm families. It's primarily introducing you to farming activities and how it can positively impact their mental health. And so we're currently partnered with a nonprofit organization that's hosting a summer camp, and we've participated in their summer camp program and their after school program, where we offer 5 lessons, 1-hour lessons to youth on the mental health benefits of farming. And we also introduced them to the basics, gardening basics, planting basics, which is paired with our horticulturalist here at Extension. And so we offer 3 to 4 of those workshop sessions throughout the year in partnership with our nonprofit organizations. And that's pretty much it in terms of what we have done on how the research that was conducted has really created the opportunities for us to offer extension outreach services. And so I'll turn it back over to Kuan.
Yeah, thank you, Tim. So here are a couple slides showing the all outreach and extension activities we have been done for local community. So next, I would like to ask our the Dr. Christiana Whitman from Guam Behavior Wellness Center.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me, or good evening from wherever you are in the world. So I am a project director with Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center, and my primary role at Guam Behavioral is in the prevention and training branch, where I oversee mainly suicide prevention. So a couple of years back, when Guam Behavioral Health was approached about getting into or entering into a partnership with the extension program on this initiative, it sort of made sense to be offered in the prevention space, since this was really an upstream prevention series, right, of initiatives. And also, I was sort of kind of the right person to put program efforts into. So Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center is the island state mental health agency. So we really serve the entirety of the community on the island. Our services range from prevention to crisis stabilization services. So what you would typically know of as an inpatient behavioral health unit is what's housed at our space. We also have substance use counseling, residential recovery, and children's and adolescent behavioral health. So we really have the entire spectrum of behavioral health services, both inpatient and outpatient. Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center also does host our 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, which provides immediate 24/7 access to trained individuals. A couple years back, Dawn shared with me some tools so that our Lifeline specialists could be more knowledgeable about some of the specific stressors of agricultural producers and farmers. So that's been really helpful for getting our Lifeline specialists to have some knowledge and awareness of some of the farm stress that occurs in case they do call. Since earlier this year, just a couple months ago, our Lifeline is actually linked with our mobile crisis response unit. So this is a team that it's activated through 988. So if an individual calls 988 and potentially needs additional assistance or might need de-escalation or assessment, this team can be activated to actually go to the home, which is a great space. I'm actually excited to kind of share this more with the farm focused team, because I think it's a great access point for some of our farmers who might not want to come directly to the unit or to the agency for services, but might need more direct de-escalation, right? You can actually go to the next slide. Quan, are you? So, yeah, okay. So this was our timeline, which this is our timeline. So we were invited to participate or to join in partnership in about 2022. We also, through this program, 2 members of our Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center team became certified or trained in adult mental health first aid. And so the farm focus team has been able to tap into us directly to offer mental health first aid trainings in conjunction with a lot of our other outreach. We've also been able to host specialized presentations at these conferences. We've had the pleasure of joining some of the regional conferences and tailoring some of our mental health stigma and emotions workshops to those spaces. So the numbers right here show how many people, as a direct result of the this partnership, have been certified in mental health first aids. So over 100, which is great because a lot of these individuals have been cooperative extension individuals or people who work with farmers who are now able to recognize the signs and symptoms of someone engaging or going through a mental health crisis and know where to get the resources and how to access those resources. So this partnership has really been great, I think, for both parties. One, for our agency to be more abreast of the resources available to a very specific population on island, but a very important and vital resource for our island. And also for the farm focus team to have kind of that entry and that, contact space directly to the state agency for behavioral health. So we are very grateful for this partnership and we look forward to it continuing. And I will turn it back over to Dr. Kuan.
Thank you so much, Christiana. So we really appreciate the partnership. So this is a really important initiative, not just for Guam, but also for entire Micronesia regions. So we know that all these efforts cannot be done without all the partnership in this region. And also the finding the right person and also supportive the community is really important. So moving forward, we have some activity we would like to continue host all the activities staff faster and strengthen the new and existing the partnership. So this summer, like the video show, we just done the the Farmer Focus Regional Conference in Palau. And this summer, we are doing the second International Health Promotional Series for community health checkout and seminars in August. So the reason we're doing this is we want some farm workers, particularly, they don't have health insurance. So for them to do a health checkout is really costful. So that's why we have chance to leverage our capacity building through the international partnerships to Taiwan. So National Taipei University Nursing and Science, the Health and Science, they able to send some students over, the nursing students and also the faculty, to help our community to do the health checkout and also provide some the seminar regarding the health, the well-being series. And this October, we want to follow up our first agreeability regional workshop from last year. So we want to do another similar event for agreeability, the conference. So we have been discussed about our local community, and we find out they actually want to learn more about anything regarding the island, the agriculture, how to learning the different way to have a resiliencies in local community. And also we invite some the partnership from Taiwan, also the three different states universities, Tennessee State University, and also the Washington State University and University of Hawaii, to build this international conference on island agriculture and global innovation here on Guam. And the next year, we will have our fifth Farmer Focus Regional Conference next summer. So we plan to conduct this regional conference in Saipan, Northern Mariana Islands. The reason we're doing this regional conference in different islands, because we have huge portion of the immigrant farm workers in in Guam. So through the survey, we understand the different stress level from farm workers, and we find out, well, one of the huge suicide, the population actually is from the immigrant farm workers. So if you want to understand more and how to do the suicide prevention series, we need to understand the other islands' local culture and also understand the different living way, so we can provide the better resources to our different immigrant farm workers. So we really appreciate the WRASAP's team support through Don and his team. So we continue leverage all the resources from local, regional, and also to international collaboration to different islands. So what we want to do is we really want to build this important initiative and reach out. So eventually, every islands in this region, they're able to help their local farming community by themselves, and also through the different support in this from Guam, and also through the international partnership, and also the regional partnership through WRASAP. So again, thank you so much for your time for listening. And also here are some of our the social media platform and the content information. So if you have any ideas or would like to share your resources, or potential you would like to partner with us, we are welcome to any ideas and any suggestions. Thank you so much, Esmail, for having time to allowed us to share our the network and also the work we have been done. Thank you.
Of course, Kwan, thank you so much. I know you guys are always busy out there with some great events, and your team is very dedicated. So thank you to everybody that participated. We're gonna see if there's any questions in the audience while we switch slides. Here. Any questions? I did have a question as I move into my slides to finish off. But on the barbecue boot camp, you guys mentioned some activities. What are some of the activities that you're doing to break down stigma?
I would let Tim, would you like to share?
Sure. So in several of the boot camps that we've had, we've also partnered with Dr. Rita Sharma. So she runs the psychological outreach service that we have for students, that's also available to the communities that live around the campus. And so some of the things that her students have done has kind of focused on some of the suicide prevention work that they offer. They've also done some of the self-care exercise activities during the boot camps. And so during the barbecue boot camp, also the emphasis is also with the animal scientist, who focuses on gives a presentation on what they normally provide as a service. And so while we're there, it also gives us an opportunity to link some of the farmers that participate into, as Dr. Whitman talked about, some of the services that they offer. So really a lot of the emphasis is at the end of the boot camp, they also are served a meal. So it's presented also as a social gathering with behavioral health services, educational presentations sprinkled into the say the topic will focus really primarily on the barbecue boot camp, which is the draw into the workshop. And then while they're there are activities that are added to it that are behavioral health focused. And so that's one way that we've really kind of tried to tackle some of it. And, when we initially launched this project, there was some farmers who had brought up some issues around mental health and farming, which was kind of a new area of emphasis for some of our farmers here. And so, we knew right off the bat that we would have to come up with some creative solutions. Simply saying, attend a workshop on stress management may not be so appealing. So we're finding some ways to kind of incorporate those activities, behavioral health
Yeah,
focus, by sort of pairing with other things that we do that would kind of draw their interest. And so the barbecue boot camp has been very successful. They get to taste
perfect.
steak and pork, and then they learn about, wellness and things that they typically wouldn't really spend the day focused on. And so that has been
Exactly.
very successful for us.
Yeah, exactly. That social gathering part I know is something that a lot of the other RASAP partners are exploring. So it's nice to hear like your version of it. Thank you so much. So just
You're
to wrap
welcome.
up, we have just a few announcements. Our partners at the Oregon State University still have one more scheduled. Question, Persuade, Refer training, suicide prevention training. The next one is on August 22nd. You can find the information on this trainings all at the farmstress.us webpage. Another workshop that is coming up is the mental health first aid. This is a virtual opportunity to become certified in mental health first aid. It'll take place on August 8th. If you'd like to sign up for that, you can contact Allison Brennan at Montana State University. And then similar to those barbecue boot camps, here's a version of, a Pizza for Producer event that's coming up on August 16th. This one's going to take place in Washington State. Again, all of this information is up on the farmstress.us webpage. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Again, all of the events that are happening, you can find them on farmstress.us. Thank you to the team in Guam, and also I know some of you are in Taiwan today, so it's like 4, 6 a.m. Thank you guys for joining at those very, very early times.